All right, question 5. It says Sarah has a square fenced-in yard for her dog with side length X. She decides to change the shape of the fenced-in yard while still using the same amount of fencing materials. The equation X plus 8, X minus 8 equals 36 represents the relationship of the new side lengths in feet of the fenced-in yard and its area in square feet. So remember, it's the area equals the length times the width. So this is the equation of Sarah's new fence. So normally it started off as X and X and it was a square yard, but now she's changing it around. The first time she used 36 feet of fencing. So she's still going to use 36, but she kind of wants to make it a different shape. So your hint here is that the area equals the length times the width. So here's my area. And then this is the length and the width. So what do the factors X plus 8 and X minus 8 mean in the context of this problem? These are the new length and the new width. And I'm abbreviating this. You should write this in a complete sentence on the test. All right, so now it says to solve for X. So we have this. So we have X plus 8 and X minus 8 equals 36. Well, we should know by now, we always need this to equal 0. So I'm going to multiply these out so that way I can get this to equal 0 and combine like terms. So X plus 8 and X minus 8, I'm going to do my box. I'm going to get X plus 8 and X minus 8. That gives me X squared, negative 8X, positive 8X, and negative 64. So when I write out my standard form of this, I'm going to get X squared. These two, 8X and negative 8X, they cancel each other out. So that's a 0. So I don't need to write that. And then I have that minus 64. And then the whole rest of the problem says equal 36, which I got from right here. So I should notice that my B value is missing in this. So remember, quadratics are AX squared plus BX plus C. So I have a X squared value here. I have a C value here, but I don't have this B value. So when we don't have a B value, we want to solve by perfect squares. So that means that we want to get X squared by itself. So I'm going to add 64 to both sides. I'm going to get X squared equals 36 plus 64 is 100. So then in my brain, I should be thinking, well, what number squared will give me 100? We should know that 10 squared would give me 100. So I'm going to say X equals 10, but 10 is not the only number because a positive times a positive is a positive, but also a negative times a negative is a positive. So it's actually positive and negative 10. So that would be our solutions. In the context of the problem, negative 10 wouldn't work because you can't have a negative 10 side length, but this is said to solve for X. So it could be positive and negative 10 if that was the equation.